Hello, everyone. Welcome to Board Gamers. My name is Dave.
And I'm Dirk.
And today, Dirk's going to do his top 5 justice upgrades.
Yeah, fine. We'll call it that.
Yeah, so we'll see how many honorable mentions we get this time.
All right. So look, oh, my puppy's saying hi. You can wait for a second. My first honorable mention is going to be one that I do actually like the card. Same with actually my next honorable mention as well. But these are cards that I like them, but I have to be able to find a slot for them in the deck. They're not as much that they're situational. It's just they, depending on what the deck does, whether or not I can actually find a slot that they really feel like they work in there. This one also can whiff depending a little bit depending on the setup you're playing. But is whenever a minion would scheme, you're going to discard this, and instead of placing threat, they're going to remove it. The reasons why it's an honorable mention and not actually on the list proper is that means somebody's going to have to be an alter ego for that to work. Does become a little bit better the more players there are in the game. In a solo, if you're not going down at all, this card's useless. But it can be really good, and it does also requires a minion, so you can't even do it on the villain. But I mean,
It just does
yeah,
work great with the Nick Fury hero,
yes,
when he's in stealth suit.
yes, it is phenomenal with Nick. And that is, I mean, when I'm playing Nick, this is always going on the list. There are other characters. If I'm playing characters that go down a lot or whatever, there's still a good chance I might put at least a copy of this in there because it is max one per players. But I don't need to. I don't need it bad enough that I need to, get multiple copies just to make sure I get it out there.
Yeah, and it is a preparation card, so it's really good for Black Widow
Yeah.
as well.
Right. The next one I've got also another preparation card, but it's another one of those along the same lines. I really enjoy this one. This one's a little bit more fun, which is why I would probably, if I had to pick between the two, I'm going to put a copy of this in before the other one, just because it's fun to play. But again, just because it's fun doesn't mean it's going to make every deck. If I got the spot though, yeah, I love this card. It's fun. But this is one after you're dealt an encounter card, you're going to discard this, and you're going to take all of the encounter cards that are dealt out this turn. Plus, you're going to get an additional one. You're going to look at all of them. You're going to redistribute them back out to the same counts that they were before, and then you're going to put one back on top of the deck, so you know what everybody's getting. You can rearrange it to make sure that everybody gets what's best for them or least hurtful for the group. And then you'll also know what the first boost card coming up is as well. So a great card, a lot of fun, but it's just one of those that has to have a spot. So now we're going to go to my final honorable mention. And just because I'm trying really hard to keep this to a top 5, it's an honorable mention and not number 6. But if I were going to break the rules and actually make a top 6, this would definitely be on the list. Almost made it a little higher, but there's just a couple of cards that I like a little bit better, but still a great card. I still tend to use this in most of my Justice decks, is Under Surveillance. So the van here, it's just great because it increases the threat value of the attached scheme. I've never really used this on anything other than the main scheme because...
Allowed to put it on the main scheme.
Are you? Oh, yeah, you are only allowed. I guess that makes sense then. I'm saying I never would want to put it anywhere else because there's very few other schemes that I care if they pop. But yeah, no, this one, you put it on the main scheme, it gives you an additional 4 threat to go on there. So it's a bit of a safety net.
And there are better the smaller the player count.
Yeah, and there are safety nets that I like a lot better that are out now, for what they do specifically. But this one, I mean, just because of what it does, it's a great card. And I did have to include it. So, I mean, even though it's not in my top 5, it's probably my number 1 honorable mention.
And we mostly play 2 players. So in most cases, this gives
gives us a couple of turns,
2 extra turns before, we have to worry about the main scheme popping.
Yeah.
And,
plus I love the breathing room that even if you don't get the second extra turn, a lot of times it will absorb an extra scheme by the villain.
Right.
So, all right. So then we're going on to my top 5 here. So, my number 5 is the Skilled Investigator. Of course, everybody knows I love card advantage. This one is a great source of card advantage because almost every game out there is going to have some side schemes, and at a 0 cost, it's really hard to beat the value of this. You do have to be a hero to be able to utilize it, but in most cases, you're trying to spend the entire game as a hero anyways. With one exception, I do have a deck that I never come up into hero in, which much to Dave's chagrin on that one. But no, even then, I'd put a copy in the deck and give it to one of the other players because it's a great card. A lot of times, if I've got the room in the deck, I'm going to put these in for everybody on the table if I can. But yeah, great card. I love it. Skilled Investigator, 0 cost. My number 4. This is going to be Sense of Justice. Sense of Justice class has been around since the beginning, or pretty close to the beginning. Haven't been out since the beginning. Close.
No, it's
I
think it's a Quicksilver or
yeah.
whatever.
So it's been out for a while. But yeah, basically it just helps you play your thwart events a little bit cheaper. You get this out, it's going to generate a mental form. And what's great is a lot of the thwart events specifically like mental to get some kind of extra boost. So it's the perfect resource to actually generate for them. And a 2 cost being an upgrade. So once it hits the table, you don't have to worry about cycling it through your deck again. Great card. All right. My number 3. My number 3 is the Heroic Intervention. Of course, anytime you're going to get an additional boost to your
It's
thwart.
known as Heroic Intuition.
What I say?
Heroic Intervention.
Okay, I believe you. I don't know what I said. I said it. It's gone. I don't remember what I said. But Heroic Intuition. So yeah, anytime you can add to your character's base thwart. Now, of course, it doesn't affect events in anything unless the event looks at your thwart stat. But it does give you that boost to your base, and most Justice characters are going to be trying to use their base thwart. So great one. But however, that has been edged out in recent times by its upgrade here. It's upgrade. This one for an additional cost of an extra 1. Not only do you get that +1 thwart, but you're also going to get, basically, you're going to get the equivalent of a endurance because you're getting an additional +3 hit points here as well. So yeah, this one, I mean, yeah, it's 1 extra, but 1 extra is nothing. If I can only put 1, I'm going to put this one. However, you can play both of them, then you're going to get the +2 for a cost of 5. Still worth it to me. So that is my number 2 and 3. But my number 1, Overwatch. This one, I just love the fact that you can play this on a scheme. Now, sometimes we've had it to where we play it on a scheme and that turns up, just because it's in our hand and we play it where we think we're going to use it. And for whatever reason, we don't turn up using it. But even if that's the case, you don't utilize it, you can leave it out there and then it's not in your hand. So it's one less slot in your hand. But the phenomenal thing is you thwart on something and you can turn around. If you remove thwart, then you, from a scheme that this is on, then you discard this and you remove the same amount from another threat from a different scheme. So if you do a big swing to the main, you've got this on the main. And what's great is if you've got this on the main and the main but there's a crisis icon, you use crisis averted to get through it. And you can remove 6 from the main scheme and turn around and remove 6 from the theme that had the crisis on it as well. So then to help trying to get rid of that for later, or any other scheme as well. You can do it with slower amounts. I'll put it out there and I'll leave it until I've got a big one to pop. But also means if you've got a hero that's hitting off for a lot with something, you can do it at that point in time. But yeah, it can remove so much in a single shot and it's a 0 cost. A lot of times I'm only going to put one of these in the deck because you can't chain them off of each other. That is a clarification they made. So one Overwatch will not trigger. You can't use an Overwatch to remove scheme from something else and then use that to remove it because it does have to be from a thwart. And since this is not a thwart, you can't chain them. If you could chain them, I would put more, and this would be even higher up as a number 1. But as it is, even just having one of these, this goes in. I can't think of the last time I had a Justice deck without this, to be honest.
All right.
So, yep, my number 1.
Okay, so that was Dirk's top 5 Justice upgrades. So, hope you enjoyed that. Next should be...
Next, we are going to be moving on to leadership.
All right.
So, we'll
Thank
see you
you
there.
for watching, everyone. Please like and subscribe.
And if you want to see more content by us, go and hit that notification bell down there, and you'll get alerts whenever we put up new videos. All right, see you.